1993 Nissan D21 2.4 liter 5-speed manual transmission. Okay, now the reason I'm making this video is I want to send a special thanks to all the guys at infamousnissan.com. They're always there for anybody with a Frontier, 240SX, Nissan Hardbody, Datsun 720. They're great help. So anyway, I know this is late. Today is, I believe, the 15th of April, and I'll explain that in a second. But on the 1st of April, I was returning home after picking me up a pizza, and all of a sudden, I go to shift from 3rd to 4th. 4th gear is rejected. As I let out my clutch, 4th gear is rejected. I hear a loud pop, and all of a sudden, I can't shift my truck into any gears whatsoever with the truck running. So I coast off into a little turn lane, you know, a little U-turn lane, and stop right there. I kill my truck, and I put it into every gear, no problem. So I'm like, okay, whatever that was, it fixed itself. I put my truck in 1st gear, press the clutch in, turn the key. Thank God it didn't start, but my truck lunged forward. It lunged forward. So I'm like, all right. So I hurried up and turned off the key before my truck lunged me into oncoming traffic. So anyway, got my truck towed home and didn't know what the hell was going on. I thought I blew up my transmission because I had a 1991 Suzuki Samurai that the manufacturer forgot to put oil in my vehicle before they shipped it out for delivery. So I drove the vehicle for about 30,000 miles, and all of a sudden one day the vehicle got stuck in 1st gear and refused to come out of 1st no matter what I did. I tried to pop the clutch, tried to take it out of gear when it was off, and it would never come out of 1st gear. So it was under warranty. They come picked it up, and they brought the vehicle and figured out that there was no oil in the transmission from the day that I purchased it brand new off the lot. Okay, so anyway, any of you guys that have this issue where your vehicle will not go in gear when you will not go into gear when it's running out of nowhere, the first thing you need to check, the first thing I did, what you would also need to check, let me turn this fan off real quick, is, yeah, I got air conditioning in this bad boy, your master clutch cylinder right here. Okay, I actually changed that. It was full of black tar. You could actually see it through through here, unlike now because it was black. Okay, then you need to bench bleed that thing. If you change it, you need to bench bleed this right here before you even install it. Okay, then if we follow the line across the top of the firewall right there where it drops down right here by your windshield wiper motor, you can see this gadget right here. Okay, this right here is the actual I don't remember what it's called, but it's actually supposed to help with your clutch pedal to where it doesn't send so much shock through your clutch. It's like a dampener or something, a clutch dampener. But if you look right here under these lines, you can see a blitter nipple. Okay, so that has to be bled. Then when you get under the truck, when we get under the truck, I have mine tucked up under here. Hold on, let me grab my flashlight. You also see your slave cylinder. Where have I tucked mine off into? It's off into here somewhere. Anyway, you'll see a slave cylinder, and you also have to bleed that. So anyway, I changed all these parts out, and lo and behold, it was still doing the same exact thing. Let me show you guys what happened here. All right, let me grab my light again. See, these springs right here are supposed to be all the way around. But if you look right here at this spring, you'll see that it's actually wedged itself in between my my pressure plate and my clutch disc. All right, now when me and a buddy of mine dropped my transmission, this piece right here fell out. That little piece fell out. I'm like, uh-oh, I know where this is going. Then just now when I was unscrewing, releasing my pressure plate, this piece fell out as well. This is inside of this, as you can see here. See it inside of there? That's inside of this larger spring. That's the larger spring down there. This is the smaller spring. Okay? Now, another thing that is going on here. I mean, look, let's try. I have not tried to release. There we go. Hey, there we go. Let me flip it over for you. That's what's going on right there. I just dropped it on the floor. I've not messed with this whatsoever. Okay. Now, so it actually got stuck on here as well. Now, I already ordered a new clutch kit, throwout bearing, pressure plate, pilot bearing, all these different things. But if you live in a very humid area like I do here in Louisiana, look at this. I mean, that sucker is, look at the rust on there. Okay? Now, I have taken my truck and left it sitting undriven for about 2-3 months at a time sometimes, because I had another vehicle. Oh, and there's the slave right there. I tucked it off to the side. It has a bleeder nipple on it as well. But look at the rust on this thing. Oh man, I can't get under here because of the, let me try to get under from another angle. But also my pilot bearing, I'm gonna try to shine up in my pilot bearing. I don't know if it can be seen or not. My pilot bearing is pretty chewed up on the lower end too, because it wasn't properly lubricated. So anyway guys, this is a pain in the butt job. If your vehicle has rust like that, see all that falling out of there? It's all rust. It actually took me and a buddy of mine with three pry bars to get my transmission to release from my engine. So definitely have a friend on hand. It's not that the transmission's heavy. Transmission's not very heavy at all. Just clean mine. This is one that I bought spare. Guys, if you ever find spare parts, buy them. If they're cheap, go ahead and buy them. Why not? Have them on side, because this is a good working transmission right here. So if this one was bad, I got a backup. But I don't need to use it, thank God. So, one more thing before I let you guys go so y'all can go fix y'all truck. Now you know the problem, if you're experiencing the same thing I am. The starter, okay? I'm on top of the vehicle. I'm on top of the vehicle. Here's your fuel filter. Alright, now, your fuel filter, mine did, it bolts down right here. This is the retaining clip for my fuel filter. Alright, I removed that, stuck my bolt back in here so I wouldn't lose it. And check this out. Check this out. Wow. Right through here, if I took my watch off, it's stuck right now, but right through here, you can actually reach the top bolt of your starter. Okay? You heard it? Yeah, and there's that bleeder nipple for that. So for all you guys that are fretting about the starter, look, you can actually see my shit, I can't think. Well, I can actually see my flywheel right there. Can actually see my flywheel right there. So I mean, it's a perfect little spot to jimmy your arm through there. There you go. Jimmy your arm through there, and you have direct access right here to get to your starter. Alright, all I did was I put a socket, a regular socket, not a deep socket, just a regular socket on a ratchet, put it down there, and I believe I had to angle it down towards the ground just a little bit, and that's where it gave me leverage to pull it to where I could break it free. Once it was free enough, I just stuck my hand down there like I just showed you guys, and I actually you know, released the rest of the way out by hand, so I wouldn't drop it on the ground and lose it or whatnot, which I doubt I would. I mean, I'm on concrete here. So anyway guys, if you have a Nissan Hardbody that just out of nowhere, you know, you've been having, maybe you had your clutch for a while, but just out of nowhere that sucker decides that it's going to pop out of gear and and not go back into gear when the truck is running, then you need to check the clutch. You need to go ahead and check your clutch. First thing I do is check and make sure that you have movement on your fork, that you have movement on your clutch fork. If you do, then I'd go ahead on and unfortunately, you know, you're gonna have to take that transmission out. Now I'm gonna tell anybody this: if you are replacing your clutch, or if you do have to drop that transmission, you're gonna have to take your drive shaft out, right? Go ahead and order you a drive shaft, a center shaft support, because this thing 9 times out of 10 is just going to be obliterated, and you can see it from under the truck. You'll see it'll have cracks all in here where the rubber's done cracked up and dry rotted. What it does, it goes on here, and that's what supports the center of your drive shaft. I still have to put mine on. I had to get the old one off. The way I got the old one off, I actually used my cutting wheel right here. I used my cutting wheel, and I cut through the rubber at an angle like this, all the way down to this part of the bearing, and then I used the actual chisel, and I chiseled the bearing apart, and then it slid right off the shaft. And then of course I cleaned the shaft up and everything, got it prepped for the new one to go on. But it's a pain in the ass, guys. It's a pain in the ass, especially if your truck is rusted and been, you know, sitting up in humidity for a while. But it's not, it's not the end of the world. It's not going to be your transmission. I'm going to say it's not going to be your transmission. If this exact incident happened to you on your Nissan Hardbody, there's at least an 8 out of 10 chance or 9 out of 10 chance that it's going to be something either hydraulic related with your master or your slave, which I said, get somebody to press your clutch pedal while you're under the vehicle and see how far that fork moves. Mine moves about this far. Before it moved about this far, so I know it was going out, but now it moves about that far. Okay, fully bled. If your fork, when you get under the car, if you see your fork move back and forth about that far, it's okay. You have to look into something else. But that, slave, if those 2 items are working correctly, you got a good feeling clutch pedal, then this might have happened to you, unfortunately, and you're gonna have to go ahead and take care of that. So I hope this helps somebody out. Thank you guys over at infamousnissan.com for always being there for me. If you're not part of the infamousnissan.com family, and maybe you just got a 240SX or a Hardbody or a Frontier or something like that, come over and join us, man. It's a Nissan, ISSAN on Infamous Nissan. Come on over and you know, hang out, and if you ever have any issues, we'll be more than happy to try to help you out. A lot of us have a lot of hands-on experience from you know, things like this happening. So hope to see you guys over there. I hope this helped y'all out. Until next time, take care.